Oregon Senator Jeff Merkley is making his second trip to the border, demanding answers about the zero-tolerance policy. 2 weeks ago, he was blocked from touring a children's immigration facility near the Mexican border. But yesterday, the senator and other Democrats visited that children's facility and other Border Patrol centers. Senator Merkley joins us now. Senator, it's very good to see you.
Oh, it's great to be with you.
I think it's taken a minute, but I do think finally this conversation is front and center. You came 2 weeks ago. Why?
Well, I came because I had heard these stories of children being ripped out of their parents' arms, and I thought that can't be right. That can't be true here in America, that families awaiting asylum, fleeing persecution abroad, are then being persecuted here in the U.S. So I came down to find out.
And what did you find out yesterday?
I found out it was true. It's true that right here in this facility across the street, children are being separated from their parents. They're being shipped off to detention centers like the one in Brownsville, where I thought 2 weeks ago the rumor was 1,000 children were being held. Turns out it's almost 1,500 kids are behind those doors.
Chief Padilla was here earlier, and he said, but many times you have gang members, you have criminals that are using children as pawns to get inside the borders here. What do you say to that?
Well, I visited 10 mothers yesterday evening who'd been separated from their children in all kinds of different conditions. I don't think any of them were gang members. They were absolutely frantic about what's occurred to their kids and what will occur to them.
This has become seemingly such a political, partisan issue. President Trump has said he's blaming the Democrats for this. There have been no Republican senators here. Do you wish that some of your Republican colleagues had come? And is this a problem that the Democrats are causing?
Yes, I absolutely wish my Republican colleagues would come down. I did hear over the weekend that Susan Collins and Jeff Flake were speaking up about this policy. We're hearing the evangelical leaders starting to speak up. We're hearing the Southern Baptists starting to speak up. And so I hope that'll give more space for my Republicans to feel like they too can champion the fact that here in America, we don't treat people in this fashion as they're awaiting an asylum hearing.
But are your Republican colleagues reaching out to you?
Well, the ones I've talked to have said, oh, Jeff, we completely agree with you. This is terrible policy, and we're going to call up and whisper to the administration. But they won't say publicly.
Why don't you think they'll say something publicly?
I think they feel that their base is watching news media that is so far to the right. They're describing this as the choice between open borders versus afflicting families, and that's not the choice at all. We've had programs, case management programs, that work very carefully to keep families together awaiting asylum. If they're going to be admitted for asylum, we don't want to mistreat them. If they're going to be deported, we don't want to mistreat them. I mean, you mentioned Lady Liberty, and indeed Lady Liberty has said, give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. And now she's saying, if you're fleeing affliction abroad and wash up on our shores, we will handcuff you, we will throw you in prison, and we will rip away your children.
Do you worry that the world is certainly watching this story? Do you worry that our perception in the world do you worry that people will be negatively influenced about their opinions about us watching what they see?
Oh, absolutely. For so long, we have been champions of human rights around the world. We have talked to other dictators who are engaged in ethnic cleansing, who are engaged in afflicting minorities, and said, stop, that's not the way you treat people. And it's not the way you treat refugees coming to your borders. There's a whole international protocol of respect and dignity for refugees getting a fair hearing, and yet here we are violating it.
And the president keeps saying it's a law, and he's blaming the Democrats. What is your message?
Well, my message is this is completely an administrative decision. They announced it May 7th. They implemented it in April. As you mentioned, in the first 6 weeks, 2,000 children were separated, not because of the law, but because of a Trump decision. And now we've
that can be changed.
That can be changed in a moment. In a moment.
All right,
and yesterday was Father's Day, so we hope he would change it on Father's Day.
All right, Senator Merkley, that did not happen. We thank you for standing here with the bugs flying around. You can't see, but the bugs are tearing him up. Thank you very much. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
It's not comfortable here. Let's send it back to Norah in New York.
Gayle, it's so interesting to hear some of your reporting as you've been talking to the families, and also to Dr. Colleen Kraft, who talks about the effect that this will have on children who've been separated from their parents.
It really is heartbreaking. And Norah, when I was in the facility, what you see is that these are parents who care about their kids. There's a father whose little boy is laying in his lap. He's rubbing his head. There's another father who... Somebody's hot rodding. There's a father who's stroking his daughter's hair. There's another mother who's just rubbing her daughter's back. These are all people that just say, we just want a better life. And they are willing to risk their own lives to be here. So imagine you get here and you think, finally I made it, and then you're separated from your children and you have no idea where they're going, or when you'll see them again. That's what's so frightening. You don't know where they're going and you don't know when you're going to see them again. I know Chief Padilla said they're given a list and told exactly where their kids are going to be. That was not what I saw yesterday, and that's not what I heard yesterday either.
All right, Gayle, thank you.